Bram Fortes, Friday, September 12, 2025. I'm your host, Brandon Ramos. Welcome to this new episode, and let's get started with your information. And let's get started with the El Paso Chihuahuas continuing their six-game final home series of the season against the Albuquerque Isotopes. And on Wednesday, matinee game and a lot of runs scored by both teams. A final score of 21-10, a total of 31 runs in this game. However, the Chihuahuas fell in this game. However, last night the Chihuahuas got the win 4-2, so something positive for El Paso. Now that Sacramento and Tacoma lost their game last night, however, both won their games on Wednesday, so the Chihuahuas remain 4.5 games back of the leader, which are the Tacoma Rainiers in the Pacific Coast League standings. And they are a half game back of the Sacramento Rivercats. And now they are tied with the Round Rock Express for third place in the PCL. So everything is bunching up there in the PCL standings with the Chihuahuas 10 games left on the season. The rest of the teams 9 because of that game that is still pending against the Sugarland Space Cowboys. So the Chihuahuas still just have a little bit of a better chance to get back in the standings, and hopefully these last 3 games of this home series against the Albuquerque Isotopes helps them a lot. Now let's go to what's going to be happening this weekend in terms of Borderland teams. Let's start with the El Paso Locomotive FC. They will be on the road today, Friday, against North Carolina FC at 5 p.m. The Locos with a chance to sum up some points and get a little bit closer to clinching a playoff spot in the USL Championship playoffs. FC Juarez, Liga MX, Jornada 8, match week number 8 for FC Juarez. They're going to be on the road as well. They're going to play at Necaxa to take on Los Rayos. That's going to be also tonight, 7 p.m. And the Bravos sitting in 8th place of the Liga MX table. So a chance to not only sum up some points, but get higher in the standings. UTEP Athletics. Let's start with UTEP Football, who will be on the road at Austin to take on number 7 Texas, the Longhorns. And the Miners coming off their first win of the season at home at the Sun Bowl Stadium against UT Martin. They lost their first game against Utah State, which means the Miners are 1-1 on the season, but a great chance for the Miners to get a tough test tomorrow against Texas and get better as they get closer to the start of conference play. UTEP volleyball last night. The Lady Miners had a huge game against a national ranked team and number 24 UCLA. However, the Lady Miners fell in straight sets 3 to love. However, the Lady Miners will continue the Sun City Classic today against Texas Southern. This was the Lady Miners' first loss of the season, so nothing to worry for the UTEP Lady Miners, who keep improving, keep playing, and also will try to improve heading to the start of conference play. UTEP Soccer coming off a huge win against reigning Mountain West champions in Boise State on the road, and the Lady Miners in soccer will be back on the road as they will take on Arizona State, a Big 12 conference team, and that will be tonight at 8 p.m. And of course, I'll have those results and all of the results that of the matches that I just mentioned on the next episode next week. Let's go now to MLB scores from Thursday. Let's start with the Baltimore Orioles, who defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-2. Dylan Beaver to the go-ahead RBI single in the 7th inning to give Baltimore the lead, and then they never looked back from there. The Chicago White Sox defeated the Tampa Bay Rays 5-1. Colson Montgomery and Kyle Teal each had a couple of RBIs in this game. The Toronto Blue Jays shut out the Houston Astros 6-0 thanks to Kevin Gausman, who went 9 innings, a complete game, 2 hits allowed, 1 walk only, and of course no runs allowed. A huge performance, a great performance by Kevin Gausman. And offensive wise, David Schneider hit a solo home run in this game, and his 11th of the season. The Miami Marlins defeated Washington Nationals 5-0. Eric Wagaman had 3 RBIs. 3 of the 5 runs by the Marlins were via Eric Wagaman. The New York Yankees defeated the Detroit Tigers 9-3. A huge game for Aaron Judge, who hit a couple of home runs in this game. His total is now at 46 on the season, but most importantly, he's at 361 career home runs. He tied Joe DiMaggio in that category. The Cleveland Guardians defeated the Kansas City Royals 3-2. CJ Keyfus hit a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 8th inning, his 3rd of the season, but it was huge as the Guardians get the win there. The Philadelphia Phillies defeated the New York Mets again 6-4. Bryce Harper with a go-ahead RBI single in the 6th inning, and Otto Kemp hit a 2-run home run, his 6th of the season, and this was huge. As a little bit later I'll tell you about the standings. The Seattle Mariners walked off the LA Angels 7-6 in 12 innings. Pinch hitter Harry Ford, a walk-off sacrifice fly in that 12th inning, gave the Mariners the win. And something also to point out in this game, J.P. Crawford with 3 RBIs in this game. And the San Diego Padres defeated the Colorado Rockies 2-0. Jackson Merrill hit a solo home run in this game, his 11th of the season. And starting pitcher Randy Vasquez went 6 innings with 9 strikeouts. Now let's go to the standings as we get closer to the weekend. Let's start in the American League East, as the Toronto Blue Jays lead with 84 wins, 62 losses. The New York Yankees 3 games back. The AL Central, the Detroit Tigers 84-63 on the season, just a half game back of the Toronto Blue Jays for that 1 seed in the American League. But in the division, they lead by 8.5 games over the Cleveland Guardians, who sit in 2nd place. In the American League West, it has gotten closer than ever. Houston and Seattle tied for 1st in the division. However, Seattle right now holds the tiebreaker over Houston, so they have the 1st place right now due to the tiebreaker. The Texas Rangers are behind both of these teams, a couple games back of the Mariners and the Astros. The National League East, the Philadelphia Phillies lead with 87 wins, 60 losses. The New York Mets now 11 games back after that series against the Phillies. The National League Central, Milwaukee Brewers 89-58, still with the best record in the league. And in the National League alone, they lead by a couple of games over Philadelphia for that 1 seed. The Chicago Cubs in the division are 5.5 games back of Milwaukee. And then the National League West, the LA Dodgers 82 wins, 64 losses. The San Diego Padres 2.5 games back. And in the wild card standings, the first wild card right now belongs to the New York Yankees. The second, the Boston Red Sox. And these two will face off this weekend, the Yankees against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. And the third wild card right now, the Seattle Mariners and the Houston Astros, due to that tiebreaker over the Seattle Mariners. So third wild card right now belongs to the Houston Astros, and behind the Astros are the Texas Rangers, are 2 games back of the Astros, and the Cleveland Guardians 3.5 games back. And then the National League, the Chicago Cubs hold the first wild card spot, the San Diego Padres the second, and the New York Mets still holding on to that third wild card spot. The San Francisco Giants and the Cincinnati Reds are the first 2 teams out looking in, both a game and a half back of the Mets. And you also have the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are still also getting closer to that wild card spot, 3 games back of the Mets. WNBA regular season winded down last night on Thursday, the last games of the regular season. The Dallas Wings defeated the Phoenix Mercury 97-76. Paige Beckers finished with 24 points on the game. The Minnesota Lynx defeated the Golden State Valkyries 72-53. Natisha Heineman had finished with 21 points in this game. The New York Liberty over the Chicago Sky 91-86. Brianna Stewart 24 points, 6 rebounds. And the Las Vegas Aces defeated the LA Sparks 103-75. Aja Wilson with 23 points and 19 rebounds. And historic numbers for the Aces as they hit 22 3-pointers in this game. That is a WNBA record for most 3-pointers made in a game by a team. And also, most importantly, 16 in a row for the Aces, 16 consecutive wins. They have the second longest winning streak in WNBA history, behind the Phoenix Mercury, who had a longer winning streak. And so now the WNBA playoffs will get underway on Sunday. The first round matchups: the 1 seed Minnesota Lynx will take on 8 seed Golden State Valkyries. The 2 seed Las Vegas Aces will take on the 7 seed Seattle Storm. The 3 seed Atlanta Dream will take on the 6 seed Indiana Fever. And the 4 seed Phoenix Mercury, they will take on the 5th seed the New York Liberty. NFL action week 2 kicked off last night, Thursday night, where the Washington Commanders took on the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers won this game at Lambeau Field 27-18, the final score. And week 2 of the NFL season will continue on Sunday. This concludes Bram Sportes on this Friday. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Be safe.